So it's summertime and you go on holiday and you find out there's an all-inclusive breakfast, buffets, lots of croissants, cakes, cookies, toast, unlimited food when you're on holiday, and for some reason, I didn't even notice this until a client asked me about this. Why don't we binge eat when we're on holiday? So let's explore this. So I'm going to be explaining 5 reasons why you don't binge eat on holidays and how you can use that to not binge eat when you're not on holiday, which is right now here. Number 1 is that you're giving permission to eat what you want. And this sounds strange because normally it would trigger a binge eating episode, but we need to remember that binge eating is not a problem. And if you know me from watching my previous videos, I always say this: binge eating is not the problem or a problem, it's a symptom, and it's a symptom of deprivation. The reason why you're binge eating is just like how you feel cold, you start to shiver, or if you hold your pee, then you're gonna wet yourself. If you avoid food or undereat for a long period of time or cut out any certain foods that you really love, like cookies or donuts, then you're gonna trigger a binge eating episode. But what happens if you give yourself permission? Then, like in holiday, then you're not gonna want to binge eat because your body has no reason to binge eat, which sounds quite strange, but it is true. So your body doesn't sense any restriction mechanically into your stomach, like your body's sensing enough calories, and also psychologically your body's sensing satisfaction from the foods. You're being full and satisfied, which are the 2 main things to overcome binge eating. Be full and satisfied regularly. So binge eating and dieting are complete polar opposites. You can't diet whilst you struggle with binge eating, because binge eating is a sign that your body is on red alert. Okay, it's a famine mode, because my eyes could see, if I'm binge eating, my eyes could see the cupboards, my eyes could see the cookies, cakes and donuts, but my stomach can't see that. Your stomach only senses what's coming in, and if nothing is coming in, just like deprivation, then it's going to trigger a binge eating response. But on holiday, then that all clears out. There's no restriction, you're giving yourself permission. And there's this thing I also like to add on top of this, is that the forbidden fruit theory is not in effect. So the forbidden fruit theory is, if you try to avoid certain things, then your body's going to want to crave more of it. It's like the shiny object syndrome, but it happens to food. If you cut out all chocolates, then you're going to want to crave chocolates even more. You're going to be thinking about chocolates even more. But let's say you have full permission to have them on holiday, then you're not going to want to have crazy amount of chocolates, because you want to explore as many foods as possible. You're giving yourself full permission. So remember, giving yourself permission is a key factor to eliminating binge eating urges. So if you want to fully overcome binge eating urges for good, then check the link in the description for my binge eating freedom masterclass on how to overcome binge eating. It's a free hour-long webinar style where I talk about all the triggers to binge eating and how to overcome them, talking about mechanical eating, how to eat your meals, when to eat your meals, how often, what your meal should look like, and all those little aspects to overcoming binge eating. It's an hour-long free webinar, so check that in the link in the description of this video. So number 2, why you don't struggle with binge eating when you're on holidays is simply because you're in a good mood. We jump onto binge eating episodes if we want to get a rush of dopamine or trying to numb our emotions, numb any certain emotions that we're trying to avoid, like fear or embarrassment or whatever emotion is. Then if you're happy, then there's no reason to binge eat, because maybe you're just enjoying life. And I'm not saying that you should try to book as many holidays as much as possible so you can be in a good mood as much as possible and not binge eat. It contributes to solving the binge eating problem, being in a good mood. If you're depressive, if you're in a low mood and then you're having low self-esteem and you're always having guilt, shame, embarrassment, hiding in secret, eating in secret, having shame around eating certain foods, food shame, or being shamed for how you look, then you're going to want to binge eat. But in holiday, then everyone's doing their own thing. You're just enjoying foods. You're in a good mood. You know that you're escaping yourself from certain situations. Then you're in a good mood. There's no need to binge eat. So instead of just booking 10 more holidays just because of this video, what I'm trying to say is try to focus on things that make you happy. So if you enjoy going to the gym or going for walks or hanging out with friends, try to make as much of that as possible into your daily routine or into your week as much as possible. Even the little things, even if you could fit in like a walk with friends once a week, that will change a massive amount of your urges to binge eat, because it'll just foster great relationships. It will improve your self-esteem. It will improve your self-worth. It'll improve your focus on what's truly important in life. We don't live to eat, we eat to live. And it focuses your mindset towards those kinds of things. It'll improve your mood. Number 3 is social interaction, because when you're struggling with binge eating, we often tend to hide away. We tend to eat in isolation. eat in guilt, eat in with embarrassment. You're really nervous. You're trying to hide away from as many people as possible when you're struggling with binge eating, or try to closet yourself away, isolate yourself from friends, family, or people who are in the house so they don't see you binge eat. But being around people, being around friends, even people, cashiers, it's just so nice when you go to like another country. Like I went to Italy recently, and it's so great to hear people in their accents speak English, or just simply just listen to them, and they seem so happy. Maybe something they do to tourists all the time, just being so happy, having great social interactions, being around family members, being around friends, being around loved ones can reduce binge eating, because you're not eating just to fill in that gap of emotions or get that feeling of dopamine, which you can get from being around loved ones, being around friends. So number 3 is like social interactions are much more common when you're on holiday. It prevents rumination, which is one of the key triggers of depression and binge eating, because you're constantly overthinking, but you're much less likely to overthink when you're around people and people to talk to. Number 4 is the celebratory atmosphere. You're constantly celebrating, and whatever country you go to, there's always celebrations going on, or maybe there's a reason to celebrate because you're on holiday. You're trying to go on karaoke, you're trying to go for a walk, you're just so relaxed, you're so happy. Maybe that happiness already, that you're already in another country and just enjoying food, enjoying moments with friends, families. It's promoting a healthy, happy atmosphere, which in itself is a celebration. So that's celebration atmosphere, celebratory atmosphere. Number 5 is you're improving your physical activity, or you're taking part in physical activity. So at least in the holidays I went to, then I'm just mostly like walking around different places, walking, exploring. Maybe you might be engaging in like some boating activities, going on boats, going on hikes, and improving your physical activity or taking part in any physical activity can massively improve your mood and reduce binge eating episodes. So one of the interesting things about walking is that how it actually improves your mood is that, so when you're walking, you're engaging left leg, left leg, right leg, right leg, and you're engaging left side of your brain and the right side of your brain, the emotional and the logical part of your brain, which actually improves your moods. It helps you think more rationally. So you know how they say when you're really sad or really angry, go for a walk? That's how it improves your mood, because you're trying to pair up the left hemisphere of your brain and the right hemisphere of your brain, emotional and logical, and helps you think more rationally and helps reduce any anxiety or depression. This is why when you have a low mood, they don't say, okay, just sit down and think about it. They say just go for a walk. And going for walks, whether it's a hike or engaging in any physical activity, it doesn't have to be going to the gym, but like maybe just walking the dog, or maybe walking to the shop, or maybe taking the stairs. Maybe for you it's just weightlifting because you really enjoy that kind of physical activity. Engaging lots of your muscular groups can actually improve your mood and reduce binge eating episodes. Which is why, paired with all of this on holiday, you're not having any restrictions, you're giving yourself permission, you're really happy, engaging in physical activity, social interaction. It's a perfect recipe for which you can implement when you're not on holiday to overcome binge eating. And once again, I think that's the end of this video. And if you have any more questions about why we don't struggle with binge eating when we're on holiday, then comment below. I'm very, very happy to create a whole video on it if you want me to expand on this more, or maybe just answer any questions in the comments below. So check this video out if you really enjoyed this video, and I highly recommend that one. And once again, check the binge eating webinar masterclass, hour-long free webinar in the link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!